Hey Crock Posse, Aunt Lou here, and today we are going to be making crock pot sweet potato casserole, all while having a whole lot of fun.
Oh, so good.
Hey Crock Posse, welcome back to my kitchen, and today I have a treat for you. I am going to be making crock pot sweet potato casserole today. And this is like one of those classic holiday dishes, and there are a lot of ingredients, and it may seem kind of scary if you are not someone who is comfortable in the kitchen. But this was one of the first recipes I ever made whenever I was still struggling to make Hamburger Helper. Like, I don't know if you guys know my history or not, but like, I was the kid who made cookies that wouldn't bake no matter how long they were in the oven. And I was terrified of even making things like Hamburger Helper. So like, there's a lot going on here, but don't be afraid of it because it really is not that hard. So here's what you're going to need. I'm going to read it off so that I don't mess this up. You're going to need 3 cups of cooked sweet potatoes. So when you do that, you're going to, like, the sweet potatoes before they're cooked are going to measure out to more. So generally I use like 3 medium-sized sweet potatoes, or maybe 2 great big ones, and I just kind of measure it out somewhere between 5 and 6 cups before I cook it, and then it'll cook down to about 3 cups. You're going to need 1/2 cup of milk, 1/2 cup of butter softened, and 1/3 cup of butter softened. You're going to use those in 2 different places in the recipe. You're going to need 2 large eggs, 1/2 cup of sugar, tablespoon of vanilla extract, a cup of brown sugar packed, 1/3 cup of flour, and a cup of pecans. So what you're going to do is you are going to start out by taking your cooked sweet potatoes and putting them in your mixer, or if you don't have a stand mixer, then your bowl that you're going to use with your mixer. And then you're going to add in your sugar. So, and that was, let me scan back up here, yeah, that was 1/2 cup of sugar. So we're going to add in our sugar, and then your milk, which I believe is also 1/2 cup, yep. And then you're going to add in your stick of butter, and your butter you want, for the 1/2 cup and 1/3 cup, you want them both to be softened. So we're just gonna plop that in there. All right, and you're going to put in your eggs. Maybe. There's one. Let's get that not dripping everywhere. Okay, it really wants to stay on. Okay. You know what? I brought paper towels for a reason, so we'll just put that on there. In this recipe, the first time I ever made it for our family Thanksgiving at Mom and Dad's house, Mikey tried it and he was like, oh my goodness, you have to make this every single year. And so it's my responsibility now to bring the sweet potato casserole. So be warned, if you take this to a family function, you will be required to bring it from there on out. Okay, and then, so I've got everything except for my vanilla, and I remember that I forgot a measuring spoon. So I'll be right back. That worked out well. I got to wash my hands after handling eggs, and I've got my tablespoon. So we are going to add in, I do a generous tablespoon just because we all love vanilla. And so you can do just a straight up tablespoon if that's what you guys want, but we love it, so I always, you know, fill it over just a little bit. Okay, so now we are going to, hang on. We are going to struggle with putting the attachment on the mixer. Okay, make sure that's lit, that's good. Okay, so now we're going to start slowly with the mixer, and then once it kind of gets combined, we're gonna whip it until it's light and fluffy. So I'm gonna start just like on like the first speed, and then after it starts to get combined, I'm gonna move it up to where it's whipping it, and so we have this light and fluffy mixture at the end. Okay, y'all, so I started to doubt myself on my instructions here because whenever it first started, I'm like, that's a lot of liquid in there. Like, is fluffy really the right word? And like it kept going, I'm like, and it got more combined to where I didn't have to worry about making a huge mess whenever the like when the mixer was going. So I bumped it up a little, and then I bumped it up a little bit more. And okay, yes, it does get kind of light and fluffy. Like, it's not going to be like whipped cream, like, or a whipped topping kind of thing, but it is like this, I don't know another word. It's kind of fluffy, but it's well combined now. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take this mixture and put it in our crock pot. If you have a casserole crock pot, you can do it in that. If you do not have a casserole crock pot, but you have a 6-quart, you can do it in that as well. And a question we get on a lot of recipes is, why would I do that in my crock pot? Well, this one and any other holiday recipe we have, oh, am I still on camera? No, I'm not. Any other holiday recipe, I love using my crock pot for holiday recipes because there is a lot going on in the kitchen for these big holiday feasts. And so this makes it so that you can free up your oven space. You don't have to fight for your time slot in the oven. Whenever Cris and Mom and I are cooking in Mom's kitchen for the holidays, there's a lot, there used to be, before Cris and I started crocking, a lot of, okay, who's got what in the oven, what temperature is it set on, when can I get my stuff in? And this just takes away, takes that, like, this doesn't have to worry about going in the oven. And so you can broil it at the end, and I like to do that, but that's just a couple of minutes, and you can do that right before everyone eats. And so it's not that big of a deal. And if you don't have a chance to broil it, it's still amazing. Get all of this yummy goodness in there. Okay. So that's one thing. And like, actually one year Cris and I did a crock pot holiday feast. And we made which we have a lot of crock pots. It's what we do for a living. We make recipes for y'all. So we took our, massive stash of crock pots, and we took all recipes from our site, and we made an entire holiday feast with just crock pots. It was kind of fun. Okay, so back to the recipe. We've got that in there. And so now we are going to take our 1/3 cup of butter and put it in this bowl. And you don't need a bowl this big, but I'm really messy when it comes to this stuff, so I like a bigger bowl. And then we're going to take, excuse me. Okay, I believe, let me see, it's a cup of brown sugar packed, and all of my measuring cups that are a cup are either in the dishwasher or the sink, so I'm using a 1/2 cup, so I'm going to put 2 of these bad boys in there. So, and you're just going to pack it down before you, to get your measurement. Okay, so we got that, and then got it all over my hands. Then we got a 1/3 cup of flour. Okay. And then, oops, that doesn't go back in there. And then we're going to take a cup of pecan pieces. I really should have thought this through. You guys know I'm not good at opening things. Got it. Alright, so, oops. Again, I don't have a cup measuring cup, so I'm just going to use my half cup and fill it up twice. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to mix this all together, right? Here's the deal. I am not one of those people that is like a master and can take 2 knives and cut in the butter. So, I got me this little butter cutter thingy. And so, I will use that to start with just to kind of get it going. But unless some miracle happens here, I'm going to end up using my hands because I am really, really not good at this. That sounded bad. Okay. Yep, see the butter gets stuck on me. I have seen people do this. I have tried to do this and I just am not good at it. So if you're good at it, you don't have to use your hands, but oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm a hot mess. And so I'm going to do this the hands-on way and just get my hands in there. I don't know if you noticed, but I was already prepping for that to begin with, and so I've already taken off my ring so I don't have to worry about getting it dirty. And now I'm just trying to not cut myself and get all of the butter and goodness out of here, because this makes your crumbly topping there on top. Yep, see, it's just easier for me to use my hands. Now you do want to watch with using your hands. You don't want to overwork it and get your butter into this melty, glommy mess. You just want to get it all mixed in there just pretty quickly. Yep, so it's going to come together and kind of be crumbly. Now, you're probably going to have some extra, like, brown sugar that isn't mixed in with, like, attached itself to a piece of butter, but that's okay. It's all going in and it's all going to be good. Alright, okay, so I know you can't see real well, but this is what I mean by crumbly. So it's just kind of like that. Alright, so now we're just going to take this and spread it all around. And I think I actually doubled the topping from the recipe that was the one that I first ever tried, because I love this topping, and so I wanted to make sure there was plenty to go around. I didn't want to have to skimp. So this gives you plenty to go around, and it's yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay, so like I said, there's a lot to this recipe, and there's a lot of ingredients, but as you can see, it's really not that hard to put together. It is, however, messy, so I'm not going to touch my lid for my crock pot until I get a chance to wash my hands, but you're going to cover and cook this on low for 4 hours, or on high for 2 hours, depending on what your time constraints are. And if your slow cooker does not cook evenly, just halfway through, you're going to, with oven mitts on, pick up that insert and rotate it 180 degrees, put it back in there, and let it cook for the remainder of the time, so that there aren't any places that are getting overcooked or undercooked. If your slow cooker cooks evenly and is wonderful like that, then you don't have to worry about that. But we will be back in 3, 2, and we're back. And you'll notice that I do not have my lid on my crock pot, and that is because I don't want that moisture being kept in. So I cooked this on high for 2 hours, turning my insert halfway through, and then I put it in my broiler on high for just a minute or two. I honestly don't know exactly how long, because this is what I do. I squat down and I look in my oven and I watch it. Whenever the top started bubbling, that's when I knew it was good to go, and I pulled it out, set it back in the unit, set the insert back in the unit, and and I've let it set for about 10 to 20 minutes. I don't know. Honestly, I've been working, I've been helping kids, I've been running around, so I just let it sit for a little while so it could come up like this. So I'm gonna bring, it's been long enough that I can touch this and it's just warm. Oops, excuse me. So we're gonna bring this up so you can see how it's all nice and crusty on top. Now the center is still a little bit warm, but oh my goodness, it smells amazing and it looks amazing. So let's give it a try. Yeah, nice and caramelized on top. I'm not gonna put a ton on here because my family's gonna want to eat this too here whenever we get ready to eat dinner here in just a few minutes. So you got the crust here on top, and you can see, oh, so good. And then you got this yummy filling on the inside. And also, since I let this set for a little bit, you can see it's still plenty hot, but hopefully it won't burn my mouth. Okay, so let's get a little bit of everything on this bite, but not too big of a bite because you guys don't want to sit there watching me chew for like 10 minutes, right? Super sweet. We always joke that this is like dessert during dinner at our holiday feast, and it's just really good. Like, when you think of a traditional sweet potato casserole, this is it. It's got the creamy sweet potato mixture topped with the crunch from the caramelized brown sugar flour butter mixture with the pecans. It all just comes together to give you this amazing sweet side dish that everybody in my family loves. I hope you guys will love it too. I hope that this makes it to your holiday table and that you love it as much as we do. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't become a member of our Crock Posse family, hit the subscribe button down below. And if you'd like to know every single time we post a video, hit the button called the ding-a-ling. And no matter what you do, laugh often, eat good food, and speak live. Bye guys. But we will be back in 3, 2. There's no way on God's green earth I'm snapping like that. I love it.
If you want to see the latest, click on the left right here. If you feel like subscribing, click on the right, my dear. And if you think we're